Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Recovery Concepts Daily Recovery Snack. Just a smidgen of working on my recovery. Hope you are too. Happy Friday. Friday, March 20th. All seems to be relatively well. Up and at 'em. Excited to get into the weekend. Get to see some of my loved ones, and super stoked about that. So hope your day's well. Hope you're warm, safe, good. Let's dive in on it. March 20th, from God Grant Me. A quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson. What lies behind us and what lies before us are small matters compared to what lies within us. Go ahead, Ralph. During our addiction, we were filled with sadness, frustration, bitterness, and fear. These are the byproducts of addiction. The most spiritual moments we had were when we felt pain and regret over hurting others. But our addiction kept us from acting on these feelings, so to do so would mean we would have to face the truth we were denying. Now we go to meetings and read and study spiritual principles. We are involved in our communities. We go to sporting events to follow the game instead of to get drunk. We invite people to our homes to eat, laugh, and enjoy each other's good company. We know now that we may pay attention. We know now that what we pay attention to grows. Prayer for the day. Higher power, I open my heart to you. Fill me with your joy and love. Help me live a life of values. Today's action. Today I will be conscious of what I do to nurture a positive inner life. I will work to pay attention to joy and gratitude. We'll go back to the first paragraph. The most spiritual moments we had were when we felt pain and regret over hurting others. But our addiction kept us from acting on these feelings. For to do so meant we would have to face the truth we were denying. Well, that's a slap. I can relate to that. Spiritual moments in prayer and connection to a higher power occurred to me when I was in active addiction. Occurred with me, and I got active in it in active addiction when I done something really stupid or was in trouble. I remember what they call foxhole prayers, where I would swear to anything that would listen to me that if I just got out of this situation or helped me understand how to, I'd never do it again. And addiction's a sad disease because I was scared enough at that moment to mean it to my core. I meant it to my core. But addiction works on my brain. And when I didn't want to hear anybody else's input, I would isolate and then work through listening to my addiction, rationalizing things, and then justifying, if you will, some things. And I would get to the point to where if you had my problems, if you had my responsibilities, if you had my life, and if you had some of the things go through, I went through in my life, you'd need a damn drink too. You'd want to feel relaxed and have a buzz too. And I would forget my prayer. I would forget my promise. I would forget me asking for help, and meaning it and swearing and promising to my core that I was going to change things up and not get myself in a position to where these certain things that I was speaking on at that particular time and moment wouldn't happen again. The problem is I meant all of it. I absolutely did. Hell, I didn't like going to jail. I didn't like finding new pieces of my car laying around places and shit, and living a life that went against my moral beliefs. I believed I shouldn't do some of the things. I believed you shouldn't do some of these things. I believed society should not do some of these things. And hell, I went out and did them. If you put alcohol and drugs in me, I can tell you generally how it's going to turn out, but I can't tell you specifically the details of what is going to happen. But it ain't going to be good. Eventually, it is not going to be good. And that is addiction for me. It makes me believe that somehow if things are going so right or so wrong, that I'm deserving of not having to feel it. And life ain't like that, man. Life is life, you know, and having a good set of coping mechanisms and a good community that you know, you can reach out to and be a part of and work through things, you know. Any two of us is smarter than any one of us, man, and that's just the way that I believe. You put 4 eyes and 2 brains, or more eyes and more brains on any subject matter or issue, challenge, or problem, and I believe that you will have a better shot of getting a good, reasonable way to approach the problem if you're confused by it than any 2 eyes and 1 brain can put together. I believe community is strength. Just watch your community. I hung out in communities all my life. You hear? All my life. I'd be around, you know, but a whole lot of them didn't have a lot of good shit or ideas. And to be fair, I wasn't looking for good stuff and ideas, you know. I was looking to blend in with what was going on because I thought that's who I was supposed to be and how I wanted to be. And I do the same thing with recovery, man. I'm in a recovery community. I've got friends I can ask for. I have mentors in there. I have a sponsor. I have people that I can rely on to give me good, honest direction, if you will. GHD, good, honest direction. And if I'm in a situation where I am not away from my community, which is hard these days with technology. If I choose to not go to a meeting or not ask a friend or not to talk to somebody, I decided to not do that because we have Zoom, we have WhatsApp, we have I have a car, we have, you know, gasoline at this point, although it's getting harder to afford it, to get in it and move around and go find people to help me. If I decide that I don't want to ask anybody, then that's a choice these days because there's too many ways that I can reach out to my mentors, to my people I trust, to my people I respect, and help me work through stuff. And I now know, I hold myself accountable. I now know I'm going to have a better outcome if I do that than if I try to work it all out on my own. My intent was never bad. I never woke up one time twisting my handlebar mustache saying, man, I can't wait to just shit all over on today, man, and make everybody mad and go to jail. You know, never one time in my life did I ever wake up and just decide I can't wait to mess everything up, man. And just that was my intent. And every time I drank and drug, that ain't what happened. But every time it did happen, I was drinking and drugging. And addiction for me is I don't know which day it's coming. But I was willing to risk it every day and hope that it wasn't. That's insanity in my world. Anyway, I appreciate y'all joining. Please subscribe, like, share, man. Get this thing moving around for me if you're moved to do so. And I am glad that you've joined me. Please come on back. Lord willing, we'll do it again Saturday morning. Y'all have a blessed day. Take good care of yourself out there. And see you soon, hopefully. Bye.